Hello, hello, hello. I am starting something new today, and if you're watching this, then you're joining me on a new piece of my journey, and I'm feeling really vulnerable right now. How many of you have ever felt really vulnerable when you started something new? Even if, like me, I've done lots and lots of videos. I've put Facebook Lives out. I did a video show last year. And yet, today, when I thought about doing this, beginning this show, I'm beginning a new show. I'm going to air it every Wednesday. I'm calling it Kat's Playbook. I'm really excited about it, but I can feel that I've gone another layer down in my personal growth, and I feel more transparent, more like I'm down to that more of that core level of who I am and what I want to share. So it's a great big yay, and ah because I can feel, oh, the more real that I get, the more real we are with each other, the better and the more vulnerable. And I was talking with my husband Curtis about this. So there's a lot said about vulnerability, right? You know, Brene Brown's famous for this. Lots of talk about it. Knowing how important it is to be vulnerable doesn't necessarily make it any easier for me. It's still really uncomfortable, especially when I'm doing something new. And I'm doing something new in the way that I teach and train the coaches that I work with, because my specialty is helping coaches with their business. And I tell them that they need to get not to overthink things. Done is better than perfect. People want to see somebody real. They want to, like, a real person. They don't want something all polished up. There's nothing interesting about that. So that's what I'm doing. I'm putting this show out here today, right before it's really done. Like, okay, I've got it together. I know the points that I want to make. I do have a message, and that's something else that I teach. Be real, get it out there, but have a point. And one of the terms that I really like is a stake, having a stake, like the reason I'm doing this. So I'm doing this show. Here's my stake in really, really simple terms. I believe that everyone, every single person on the planet has a creative expression. Sometimes it's called a spark. There's this creative expression that wants to be put out in the world to offer something good. And people do it in all kinds of ways. There's all kinds of art. There's doing it as a parent or a teacher or just or an arborist. Millions of ways. But my stake is that there's a profession called coaching, and coaches have this creative expression they want to put in the world to offer something good that helps people. This has been my focus for my whole life. I do also believe that when we all go back and look at what makes us happiest, we'll find those clues right through our whole life. So helping people, I've been interested in the human experience as long as I could remember. And in that interest, I've noticed a lot of suffering, and that brought me to wanting to help people. Right. So here it is. So what this show is going to be about, it's going to be about helping people and helping people who have a creative expression that they want to offer to the world for good. So I'm going to be talking about how that works, how we offer, how we put something out into the world from that creative expression, and how what exactly the philosophy, the coaching philosophy is, and how that can help you and help coaches to become more and more successful, because I believe that's what the world needs right now. I have this image of a system. So kind of imagining there's this whole system in the universe that if every single one of us does our thing, our creative expression that we put into the world for good, it's like it creates something new gets created together, not as the individual, but because everybody's doing it. And the more everybody offers their good to the world, the more the whole planet starts to get cleaned up. That's just what I'm seeing today. So that's what this show is, a cleanup. It's going to be about cleaning things up. No, it's not really. It's going to evolve. But here's what I do know. Here's the thing I know, as I was talking about in my childhood, and I wonder if this is true for any of you out there. If you can look for those clues in your childhood to get a clue about kind of how you want to express yourself now, what's wanting to happen through you now. So for me, when people would ask me what I wanted to be when I grew up, one of my answers would be, well, I want to be an actress, and I want to be a missionary, and I want to tell stories. That's it. That was it. That was the combination. So it took me a really long time. It took me till I was 44 to find a profession where I could be an actress in the sense of kind of bringing some entertainment and theater to what I love to do, the missionary part, which is bringing what I consider a spiritual message, something from spirit, something from that otherworldly insight place where, oh, I just open a channel and something comes through me, and tell stories, right? I love telling stories, and in particular, the stories I plan to tell on this show and in my blog come from the trenches, my own experience, and that of the people that I work with, my clients and my colleagues and my friends. It's like telling the stories about what's happening right now. What's happening that's come from my own spiritual growth and spiritual attunement and my doing good in the world, and all the times that I have failed. There's the vulnerable part, right? So I can't tell about just what went well. I have to tell about the challenges, because that's where so much learning comes. And it is my intention to bring this message, to give coaches a boost, and to give the general public a clue, give you a clue about what we do and why it's really so important at this time to take the time. This is where I'm going to leave you. I'm going to leave it right here. Take the time to do some introspection. Take the time. What I've just laid out right here would be a really good place to start. Just taking a look at what are the urges? What are you being kind of urged on to do right now? What's wanting to happen through you that would be your creative expression, doing good in the world, and does not have to be big. It could be tiny, teeny, tiny, but it gives you a spark. It gives you some delight. I would love to know. Drop that in the chat or the comments, or send me a post. I would love to hear what that is for you right now, and what's the support that you need to make that happen, because we all need support and we need to do this together. All right, bye for now.